This is 100 days in a realistic zombie outbreak in GTA 5. You see, growing up, my first ever zombie experience was The Last of Us. Not only was it wildly popular for its realistic gameplay, but it was also known for its story. And since then, many years have gone by. Some games that have been decent, but nothing like The Last of Us. Until now. I added realistic gore, shooting, survivors, terrain, zombies spawning in different interiors. And that's just the beginning. And for the next 100 days, I have just one goal. Find a way to escape the entire state of Los Santos. Rumor has it there is a place in this world that is free from the infected, but I'll need to do whatever it takes in order to find a way out.
Massive fire has caused part of an office building to collapse.
A helicopter has crashed on top of a building. NASA climate scientists are warning about the potential resurgence of so-called zombie viruses.
Rest assured, looters will be prosecuted with deadly force. All reserve military personnel and National Guard are ordered to report for immediate deployment. In order to halt the spread of this contagion, our nation's borders to Canada and Mexico have been sealed.
The world as we knew it is completely different today. My journey starts in the countryside in hopes to find an aircraft that will lead me out of the States. However, something I didn't tell you is that I've only spawned one random working aircraft throughout the entire world, meaning it could literally be anywhere. Before I could search for it, I needed to find myself something to use for protection, such as a weapon. So I would be entering my first building. Buildings will always spawn some type of weapon. However, finding that weapon and surviving, well, that's a completely different story. Okay guys, we are currently in the spot where the infection started, and instead of me yapping about it, how about I just show you? The location I'm currently in is where scientists would test humans that were contagious with the virus. They would keep infected people in a locked room in hopes to find a cure. Just before the outbreak happened, scientists had what they thought was a cure. But unfortunately, it was too late. Okay, I found a gun. Ah! That's a bad idea. That's a bad idea. Right away. Well, I'm thankful to be alive. I ended up finding a nice little junkyard where I would be staying for my first night. Found a nice little spot, put up a tent and a fire, and it was off to bed. Alright, good night, my friends. I ended up exploring the area that I was close to. It was Sandy Shores. Although most of this place was completely abandoned, my main goal right now was to just find a car. I first need a vehicle repair kit. You can get these by killing and looting the infected, so I did just that. Another one bites the dust. I even set up a temporary home since Sandy Shores had a lot of infected roaming around, and they were not too powerful. Alright, this should be pretty good for now. I was even able to hunt some food with some wild boars that were roaming around. Dinner! But I finally found a car that was away from most of the infected, but I needed to hurry. And we're gone, ladies and gentlemen. We finally got a car! Wow! Alright, let's get out of here. The car let me explore the countryside, although most of what I found was really nothing. No aircraft here. Even got to explore where the Lost MC biker gang used to live, and it was quite interesting seeing one of them completely infected. Look at this guy! I mean, look at him! However, as days were going on, the infected were starting to multiply in numbers and getting stronger. Wow, there's a lot more than usual. And they were even getting worse at night. Okay, wow, look at this. There's hordes now. I decided to head towards the city, but I wanted to stop and loot up at a nice little gas station. Might as well grab a quick snack before we head to the city, right? Supermarket. But what I ended up finding in this gas station would end up changing the entire outlook on the rest of the remaining days. All right, let's do our little clearance here to make sure everything's clear. Hello, I'm coming in. Is anybody in here? If you are, I am armed. I am armed. Okay, I'm gonna board this wall up here. We should be pretty good. No infected should get inside. What was that? I told you I have a gun. If there's anybody in there, please come out. Please come out. It was a dog. Now, I didn't tell you this, but you actually can have companions and survivors. Now, survivors spawn all across the map, and some of them sometimes fight, and so it's up to me to try to get the loot that is always by these survivors. So I decided to shoot one, and well, for him, he ended up, well, getting eaten. And then there was one more. In a world like this, it's not about who you kill, but rather how you can survive. I got some pretty good loot from the survivors, but I unfortunately had to abandon my car and walk through a forested area that covered up a previous road. Good boy, Rocco. Very good boy. And before I knew it, I made it to the city. Rocco and I found an abandoned hospital, but I needed to make sure that it was okay to sleep in. Again, if there's anybody in here, I am armed. Hello? Oh my gosh! Oh my goodness. The next day, I made sure that Rocco stayed in the hospital because I was going to be exploring some pretty dangerous stuff. I'll see you soon. I'll be honest, most of the city was pretty much abandoned, and I had searched for a little bit until I decided to finally enter in what I ultimately wanted to enter in the first place, which was the abandoned buildings deep downtown. Okay, this is the abandoned FIB building. Some buildings were hid around here, but oh my goodness, look at this place. This place is absolutely destroyed. Wow, I didn't think it was gonna be this corroded. Of course there's an infected. Of course there's an infected here. Wow. Okay, get some resources. And the first area I entered just so happened to be down towards the basement, but it was completely flooded. The fact that I still have a pistol, and knowing I could find some seriously good loot down here, I decided to take the risk. Okay, why not, right? Let's just go into a flooded area. Who cares? Please subscribe if you haven't already. Oh, please have some. Okay, there is some resources here I can loot. Alright. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, this is a little bit much. Okay, please, 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 please. Oh! No, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, no, no. I quickly boarded up that room as I went to explore the rest of the building. Yeah, that's not gonna happen again. It was so weird seeing a building that was once filled with people. I then made it all the way up to the very top floor. Okay, I haven't had any resources except for something I found in the... What the... Oh my gosh! This thing is... Ah! Yeah, why are you running? Why are you running? Oh. I'm good off that. That was insane. Again. Well, that was a bit too close. I haven't really found anything except a few resources in the basement. I decided that it was finally time for me to head out. But of course, I had to explore the bathroom. This doesn't seem so bad. Oh! Where did a cougar come from? What? What? Yeah, maybe not the best decision. Good lord. And a stroke of miracle upon me when I somehow found a shotgun. Okay guys, this search in this building isn't completely useless. We have found something. A shotgun. And just as I grabbed it... Oh my goodness. Wow. Well, I managed to survive, but just barely. I ended up having a pretty good chunk of fun with my new shotgun. I mean, it's a shotgun, that's pretty cool. I started looting with really no trouble now. I felt pretty protected for the most part. And I somehow found a completely abandoned car. All right. Literally nobody was by this car, and it was just chilling over here, kind of in this wooded area. Picked up Rocco and continued my search for the aircraft. Rocco, I'm back, let's go! This was the most smooth things had been since my journey had started. Alright, so I think, just looking for this air... Oh, it's survivors. It's survivors. Goodness, goodness, goodness. Keep going, car, keep going. Go! Go! No! It's not turning on. There's one more guy. Rocco! Is it just one more? Get him, Rocco! There's probably more on the way.
You're a waste of space on this earth.
Gotta get out of here. There's gonna be more coming, Rocco, so let's get out of here. Goodness. Yeah. I guess the car wasn't just abandoned in the first place, it must have been being used by the survivors who then tried to, well, kill me. I ended up clearing out an abandoned gun shop for a current home that I could stay in with Rocco. Boom! Oh my goodness. I love the fact that I have a shotgun boarded up here. It just so happened to still have power in it as well. Now, days have been going on and on. I haven't found anything with the aircraft, and I needed some food. Good boy, Rocco! Not gonna lie, having Rocco was honestly such a blessing, I guess. I know it sounds weird because it's just a video game, but having some type of companion on a journey that honestly is pretty solo and boring just feels really cool. Rocco and I spent a little bit of time around the same area trying to find any deer that we might be able to see. Rocco, I don't think we got any deer here today, buddy. Probably gonna head home. Oh, Rocco! I see something today. What is that? What is this thing? This isn't even a deer. Is this an infected deer? I didn't know those were a thing. Hi, buddy. I think he's nice. He's not trying to hurt me. Hi, buddy. Oh! Rocco, where are you going? Rocco! Okay, great. This is just absolutely great. The sun was starting to set, meaning the infected would become much stronger. Finding Rocco needed to happen soon. Rocco, quit playing around, dude. Where are you? What in the world? Okay. Rocco! Does somebody have the radio on? What is going on? This is all types of freakiness right now, Rocco. Let's get out of here. Where are you, dude? I swear, if you're deep into this bank, it is getting late, man. We should be home. We should be home. I swear, if you're in one of these things. Rocco! At least the radio turned off. Rocco! Rocco and I made it back into our old routine, going into building in hopes to find some more loot, which at this point we really didn't need. We just wanted to find the aircraft. Nothing in here, Rocco. And I literally spent days and days searching around. Get him, Rock. Good boy. Good boy. Be careful. Good boy. At this point, I was ready to just give up. And as I was walking, I found an outpost that somehow I had never seen before. And does that Ferris wheel have power somehow? I'm about to... There's the plane. There's the helicopter. There's the aircraft. How did I not check here before? And right away, I had a plan. See, I was running out of time, and it was now or never. Tomorrow would be the last possible day I could try to get this aircraft up in the air and escape. So I started placing these sticky bombs around the outpost. There's one, there's two, three. All right, let's get out of here. Zombies, I hope you guys all come tomorrow. It's gonna be an absolute ball. I swear. I went back home to sleep for what hopefully would be the last final night in Los Santos. However, when I got back, Rocco, please. What has gotten into you? No, don't tell me. Please, Rocco. Please. In a world like this, it's not about who you kill, but rather how you can survive. Okay, I'm pretty much done here. These infected, I could care less about them at this point. I'm ready to just get out of here. This is insane.